right. Thank you for joining us again. Hopefully you've seen The Intervention. You could have seen it on Amazon Prime, or I don't know, maybe it's in Redbox, or who knows. But you could definitely get it easily.
If you haven't seen the movie The Intervention, streaming on Amazon Prime, stop watching this. Go watch The Intervention. You know what? You might as well watch our previous episode if you haven't seen that, which is a spoiler-free review of Intervention, and then come back and watch this. Okay, so let's start talking about The Intervention. What did you think of this movie?
Well, I mean, I think I'm all out of cream, man. Gross. I think we both agreed that it was a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I think it both took us by surprise. Definitely took me by surprise. I was hooked within moments. The opening shot is so perfect.
On the plane.
On the plane.
Yeah.
It's on a plane, and everything is so symmetrical, and all these people are engaged in their own little lives. Mm-hmm. Right? And it just says that right there.
Yeah.
And that's what literally, I mean, that, for an opening image to this movie, I don't think you could get it any better.
No, it was perfect.
And then we move into our main character played by Melanie Lynskey, who, oh my God, she
deserves all of Meryl Streep's nominations.
Yeah, I mean, because not only did she really handle the serious stuff well, but she's just so funny too.
She
found comedy in things that I don't think were meant to be funny, but she found comedy in there.
The scene where they're having the first big dinner and she's trying to bring up the idea of the intervention to the couple, and she's just getting wasted.
Yeah,
she's
I mean, they set that up beautifully in the first second shot of the movie, or the first scene,
like the first 2 minutes,
the first scene in the movie. It was so brilliantly done because you're right. It was like 2 minutes long, and within that 2 minutes, you know exactly who this woman is and what her problem is, and her problem is alcoholism. And then that brings in Jason Ritter's character,
who is he's so good.
He's so good. I mean, just 100% charming the entire time.
And you feel really bad for him.
Yeah. And he kind of, what I liked about this is that every character in this movie kind of personifies a different negative attribute to a person. Like, well, you have alcoholism, but you also have, type A personalities. You have denial, which I think his character
he's
is
totally, and you could tell he's just so timid.
Yeah.
And you feel bad for him, but everything he's doing to himself.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, not an easy character to pull off where you still, at the end of the movie, you're like, oh, I care about this guy. Because he's literally been doing this to himself the whole time.
Right.
Like, she's a part of it, but the signs are there. There's more red flags than there are wind fans. And I believe
one of the characters says that when we actually do get to the intervention. It's, I believe...
Kobe Smulders, doesn't she say?
No, it's Vincent. Because
Vincent,
Kobe kind of she just kind of sits there and takes it. And you can see her just like... a lot of the characters are only there because they have such a close bond, but they think it's a completely ludicrous idea, because it kind of is.
You kind of got a 12 Angry Men thing going on, where convincing each other to do the intervention in the first place.
Right.
But then what I love is when you introduce these characters, Kobe Smulders and Vincent Piazza, their characters, you go, oh, these people really probably should get a divorce. They do not like each other.
Again, so now, so we skipped a couple of characters as far as setting them up, but we do have to go to that one, because that, again, it's like a page long of a scene, and they've been set up before. They're the last ones that we meet.
Yeah.
And so at this point why the other friends are at the house, right? We know that they're going to be giving this intervention to their friends, basically telling them to get a divorce because they're so unhealthy for each other.
The setup until this point is masterfully written and done, because it doesn't knock you over the head, but you know everything you need to know.
And it happens like this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of characters. And let's go through the cast. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 main characters. It's an ensemble cast, and to set up 8 characters in the first 10-12 minutes of a film
without it feeling rushed or anything like that is just so difficult and done so well. But back to the character, Kobe and Vincent's characters, they're set when they finally show up, and okay, this is the couple that needs to get a divorce.
Within a page, you're like, Please
get a divorce. Oh my God. I can't hang out with these people another second.
That scene they're stopped on the side of the road because dude doesn't want to be. He's doing a business call, and he doesn't want to be driving, and he thinks there's going to be like a blackout zone ahead.
Yeah.
So he literally pulls over the car, and his wife is just sitting there seething in the front seat. And he's going through this business call, and you go like, "Oh my god! Like, who is this guy?
Self-absorbed.
He's self-absorbed prick.
Prick, yeah.
And but then the way she comes off. I mean, talk about type A personality. Like, this woman is just... She's like Sergeant Slaughter.
They should call her Coldy Smolder.
Yeah. So when... Because we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but when we first meet the Ben Schwartz character and the Alia Shawkat character, why don't you go into that?
I just thought it was so cool that Clea Duvall did this with this character where he's one of the characters that the other characters talk about before he gets there.
Yeah.
You know there's something up with this guy, and they're making a bet on if he's going to bring someone with him.
Yeah, right.
And then this beat-up old truck starts pulling on with carrying this little tractor trailer type thing.
Right. Like,
And they're like, oh, he's here. And then this young girl, Alia Shawkat, steps out, and they're like, oh, he brought her. So they're talking about this, and he's like in his mid-30s. Just this kind of wandering...
He's a total floater.
Free spirit.
Yeah.
And he's got his 22-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, and he's like really out. Like his first thing, he like literally like sticks his head out, and they're coming out the door of the house, and he's like, "My friends!" Like, he's real big,
he's
and
really
just kind of like that loud
like,
guy at the bar.
Everyone knows. Yeah, the loud guy at the bar is the perfect way to describe him, because you're like, oh, just get this guy out of here. Like, I know people like this guy that I just don't want to hang out with.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like hipster freewheeling.
Hipster freewheeling.
And in Alia Shawkat, it's like, in the beginning, she's like just doing cartwheels all the time.
Yeah, well, that's what I loved, is they actually made, for the beginning of her character, they made her even more childlike than most 22-year-olds are.
Yeah. And she's always wearing like shirts that are just totally cut up, so you can see basically everything.
That part when they're talking about the intervention, and Melanie points to Alia and is like, "You should wear a whole shirt."
Oh, okay.
There's a scene in the beginning where they're pouring wine, and we kind of go into Melanie like, "Are you drinking again?" That type of thing, and he says something where he's like, "I'm happy, and I really need to be happy right now."
Yeah,
which is such good setup, because it's not telling you what's going on,
but you do know,
there's something up. There's a little layer added to his character all of a sudden. But then they bring in why he's that way, and
I kind of called it. I called it only because I paid extra attention to him crying on the bed. Like, why is he crying?
I could tell that there was something darker.
Yeah.
I thought it was merely a divorce.
Yeah.
It turns out he was married and his wife died.
Yeah.
And
the way they revealed that was brilliant too.
Brilliant. But I love that he's actually going through this kind of crisis in his life, and this is his way of going like, I just need to have some fun right now.
Yeah. But he also wants something. He's not having any fun. He wants something more.
He wants something more out of it. But then the scene where he goes to console Vincent Piazza.
Yeah, and he goes into it.
And he goes into what happened and how she died. She got sick. But the fact that 2 weeks before she got sick, she wanted to get a divorce with him. Yeah. And then how the year it took for her to die was the best year of their relationship, and how you cannot let this go.
You don't want everything.
And then that goes into the scene where Vincent tries to get Kobe back, and that's an Oscar-winning performance he gives in that scene when he's saying like, "This is
where Vincent's scene."
When Vincent goes to Kobe and is like, "I don't want to get a divorce. This is worth fighting for." Like,
and she's already given up.
And
her I thought her side of that scene was even more Oscar-worthy because she breaks down so organically and literally in front of all of her friends tells them to get the fuck out of here. I can't deal with this anymore. I've given up. I guess that would be kind of like the all is lost moment in the film, because it's like, well, there's nothing I can do. There's no repairing it.
Through Alia Shawkat's character, she's like, should I go talk to her?
Yeah,
because she won't throw peaches.
Because Melanie Linsky goes, because she's so type A, and it's
she's like, I'm going to fix
this. I can fix this. And everyone's like, no, I think you've done enough. No, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fix this. She opens the door and a peach comes flying.
Right? And then when Alia, she's like, should I go talk to her? Yes. She's not going to throw peaches at
Yeah,
someone
everyone's
she
like,
doesn't know.
no, of course not. No, everybody can't stand you. Nobody likes you because you're the new kid, you know.
Yeah.
But then, but bravely enough and intelligently
And then that's when
enough,
she shows that she's really like actually a mature person who has this conversation with Kobe Smulders.
Let's Kobe do most of the talking.
Oh, yeah. Just kind of like gets her into talking, and then lets Kobe kind of come up with her own realization that this marriage actually is worth fighting.
It is. But anyway, so what's nice is that, and I think you had a little bit of a problem with the roundup, at least, because every character, every relationship,
not with the entire roundup, just with one of
with the most important
relationship,
right? Which is the relationship between Colby and Vincent. They don't get a divorce, and they decide that it's worth it to try harder, and it does get a little bit of lovey-dovey. But I was just thinking, like, okay, well, they're in the honeymoon phase of this moment right now, and when they go home, that's when it's good. They're going to have to really work on it. But for right now, everything's good. But what we don't get to, or what surprised me is after that kind of happens, Melanie ends up walking in the door, and they're all sitting there, and all the chairs are in a circle again. Only now Kobe's standing there on her crutches, and she asks her to sit down. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they go through...
This is what the actual intervention is.
The intervention is really about Melanie and her...
it's not the intervention
her alcoholism. Yeah. It just goes to show that, like, you can have a genre, but weave other genres in there. And if you know what you're doing, right? And obviously, Clea Duvall really knows what she's doing, because when the comedy came in, it was perfect. And there's zany moments in this film. Oh, I mean, when they're running around, when Clea Duvall and Natasha Lyonne are running around, just like getting revenge on each other because making out with people, just trying to go like one up each other with like fuck you kiss somebody, I'm gonna kiss him, and then they just run around and their friends are just like, I don't know what to do about this. I mean, it's so zany and dumb,
but realistic. Awesome. It's like I never once questioned the reality of that situation, even though it was completely zany. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us. Make sure you check out The Intervention. We both cannot stress enough how good this movie is. And it was such a treat because I did not see this reaction coming when I saw the trailer.
I didn't either. I was actually kind of bummed because I wanted to do another horror movie.
Yeah, but we will have another horror movie coming up next episode, Volumes of Blood. Yes. Horror stories.
Yeah, anthologies. I love anthologies.
We haven't done an anthology yet. We're going to do that. So come back on Monday, and we will see you then with our next episode of The Film With No Name.
And thank you for helping keep independent films alive and spreading the word.
Mm-hmm. Spread the word.
Spread the word.
You want to be cool, don't you?
You do want to be cool. Tell us that you're cool in the comments.
And tell other people that we're cool.
Yeah. Share this.